My brother, what's happening, Captain?
Brother Bob, how
All
you
right,
doing?
man. It's all good. I know you. I went to school with you, and I know you, but a lot of people don't know you.
That could be true.
Why don't you tell us what your name is, my brother? Just your regular name.
My name, Andre Coleman.
Okay, Andre Coleman. I got that. But you are world famous for another nickname, Skeeter.
You're
Where'd
absolutely right, Bob.
Where the heck did that come from? What happened?
My class determined they would nickname me Skeeter due to the fact I was one of the smallest guys in my class, and instead of saying mosquito, they cut it to Skeeter, and it stuck with me all during school.
Mosquito, huh? Skeeter. I get it. You said your class did that?
My class did, some of my closest classmates.
And speaking of class, because we both went to Mendel, that's where everybody went to Mendel. What class were you?
Class of 1977, Bob.
Class of 1977. That was right before me, man. And Skeeter, even though I like Skeeter, even though I like Andre L. Coleman, I like your other name the best. What's your doctor name, my brother?
Dr. DooLittle.
Dr. DooLittle! I love it, man. I love that our doctor names. Again, I say it all the time. But how did you come up with Dr. DooLittle?
Once again, I guess size has a lot to do with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm big in stature and mind, I was the smallest in the doctor also, so we came up with the comical name of DooLittle.
Yeah, okay.
And it stuck also just like Skeeter.
Okay. So Dr. DooLittle, man, do you remember how you became a doctor? How did you become a doctor, man? What do you remember?
As I recall, even though it was just like yesterday, I met Brother Bob in the band, and we also knew Steve Taylor. And we always had beats, and we would always practice on the drums.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we started moving the beats with our body, and we decided that we all had a little rhythm, and we said, hey, we can all dance a little bit. And that's how we kind of formalized getting together with the rhythm of starting to determine a group called the Doctors.
There you go. Kildare came from another school.
Correct.
He came from St. James, and he used to always come at about starting a dance group. But we was dancing in a basement. This is how I remember. I'm sorry, I should have said. This is how I remember it. We was dancing in a basement, and you was at that party, and like you said, we were in the band together. We were in the percussion together.
Right.
And that was Steve Green that played the drum.
It's true.
He plays with Slave, I think.
Correct.
He's a percussionist for Slave now. And Ed Gosa was before him.
Right.
He might have been.
And Frank.
Was Ed in your class?
No, Ed's behind me, and Frank.
Okay.
Patton, right?
Okay. So we had percussion. It was just a musical vibe, and then you said, well, hey, let's get. Can I get with the Doctors too? And that's it. When then all said, because we was the first two, and then you were the first three. It was just three of us.
Right.
And then Jamie Shelton, the artist, Dr. Kylie, Steve, some of it, all, and then everybody else started coming. Right. But you were the original.
Right.
And with us, and then, but what happened, man? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, some people are like, Dr. DooLittle, he wasn't no doctor. Where did he come? Because you were in and out kind of quick, it seemed like. You graduated, I think, and that's what...
Right. Well, saying that I was an upperclassman, I did graduate after you guys, so you guys continued the legacy going on. But during that time, we all were together for that 1 year where I was a senior and you guys were a junior. We did a whole lot of things together. So everything can't go on all the time, but while we were together, we put on a lot of shows.
That's right. Now, what year do you think that the Doctors started? Because there's a lot of different numbers. I like to ask everybody. What year do you think the Doctors started?
I would think it had to be at the end of 76 or the middle of 76, because it definitely was before my senior year.
Okay. All right then. All right, that's good. Okay. Dr. DooLittle, man, when did you know that the Doctors were going to be popular, that this whole Mendel Experience, just the movement? When did you start feeling that?
I realized one time we did a performance at Mendel, and we came in with our doctor uniforms. Nobody really knew about us, but we knew we were behind the scene going to put on a show. And that first time, we had the whole bi-level at Mendel, and everybody was watching us. And just to add to that, we were practicing on a record called Fly Like an Eagle. And boy, we put on a show for everybody. And from there, it was on.
That's right. That was the first song we danced off of, Fly Like an Eagle. And the music was very important for us, obviously, because we were dancing, you know. But Fly Like an Eagle was a rock and roll song that a bunch of black guys was dancing to.
Correct.
So that was special in and of itself, you know.
That kept us with our beats and our steps, and it made everything look good for us.
That's right. That's definitely right, man. So what about what were the doctors to you? Like before, after, during? What did it mean?
Well, to tell you, it's just like any group that's close. We always got together, we practiced together, and we bonded together. But one thing that we did have, which you had to be with the doctors, you had to have some rhythm. And somebody had to be creative in creating steps. And sometimes that was Bob always coming up with a new step. Hey, you guys, I got this, let's try that.
Yeah,
so
man.
That's really what made us unique to the scene.
That is true, man. It was a challenge, and what I have to just say, man, we was up to the challenge.
Absolutely.
And we look forward to the challenge. And speaking of challenges, you know, what about some of the other groups? Because that's who we were preparing against. After a while, you had to go out there and dance against people. Do you remember some of the groups?
Well, if you think about it, even though we were the originals, the Bziz Boys came out. Then there were a couple of other groups that I can't recall the name. You might can help me with some.
So, man, Ebony Gents. That was our biggest rivalry after you left. And then, but
then we had some girls groups that came out.
Several, man.
Okay, so
the Slick Chicks.
There you go.
Remember them?
Right.
Oh man, I love them. I love
Absolutely.
the Secretary.
See there? So it's almost like we started a generation of dance group. Even though if you look at TV today, it's very popular now. Even though we were doing it back then. Now,
I'm gonna tell you something that I'm gonna tie this together. Now you might just start nodding your head, or you might have forgot about this.
Okay.
But you just mentioned the Bziz Boys. And now I tell everybody that's how we got our name, because the Bziz Boys were out before us.
Correct. You are correct.
Yep. And they had a cousin group called The Cure.
Okay.
Because they had names like penicillin and stuff.
Right.
But the Bziz Boys had names like arthritis, you know, cancer, stuff like that.
Okay.
So we came up with the name The Doctors to Cure the Bziz. That's how we got our name.
Okay.
But you talked about the Bziz Boys, and to me, the leader of that group was arthritis, was Clark Clarence. And after you left the Doctors, did you and Arthur hook up or anything? Wasn't it a galaxy of stars?
You are absolutely right. Due to the fact that I did like dancing, after the transition happened, we created another dance troupe where we also competed. It was 3 girls and 2 guys in it, and we went all around putting on shows for people just the same as the Doctors did.
I'm gonna challenge you. I think it was 3 guys.
It could have been.
It was you,
Ronnie,
was Arthur, and Ronnie. And Ronnie, come on.
Ronnie ended up being a professional dancer in life.
Give him a shout out right now?
Absolutely. Ronnie was one of the good guys. He did a lot of professional shows. There was Deborah Bass. They also
give her some props too. Hey, Deborah.
And there was one other lady in the group I can't remember, and she became a singer.
Oh, I don't know who this was.
I can't think of her name, but she became a singer.
Oh,
so everybody in our troupe also determined that they were going to be successful in life and went to another level, even though we all didn't become performers in the life of today.
Yeah, man, that was awesome. I love the way that you...
Kitty.
Okay. Hey, man, just a matter of time.
That's
It's only been 40 years.
Absolutely.
You gotta give us a break.
That's
okay?
Right.
That's beautiful, man. Yeah, and I loved how you left the Doctors and you took it to that new level, because y'all style of dance was way different than what we were doing. It wasn't nothing like
we
what we
used
were
to
doing.
go get uniforms, but it was almost the same. We'd all go try to find something to the record that we were dancing to and model off of it. But still, two good groups doing two good things.
That was beautiful, Skeet. Dr. DooLittle. I was going to call you Skeeter, but I want to keep it professional.
Okay. All right.
All right, my brother. Let's see, Skeeter. Did you know that that they did an article about us in this high school newspaper called New Expression, and it was talking about social clubs versus gangs, being in a so-called gang.
Okay.
Did you kind
I
of?
wasn't familiar with that.
Okay, well, do you have any? Now that you know about that, does it make sense? Does it?
It definitely does, in the sense of anytime you can be a part of something that's in a positive mode, it's always good.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that a gang is positive mode, but you can take a group of dancers, a group of musicians, a group of actors, and as long as you're bonding with someone to commit something, or you're all coming together to do one specific thing, that's pretty good. So whether you want to label it a gang, a dance group, a musical group, it's a group, and that's what bonding is all about.
Okay, and you know, what kind of fond memories do you have? You know, we were talking the other day, and you reminded me about how your father used to work the door for us and stuff, man. Do you have any fond memories of our days that just, you know, get you a little teary-eyed?
You know, that's interesting.
Because I know your father passed away.
That's interesting you said that. We gave a huge party at St. Albans. And even though it might have cost $2 at the door, we still thought we needed security to protect our investment, because we still had to pay St. Albans for the rental.
Yeah.
So we have specific members of my family. My father was a Chicago police officer, so he was there in his blues to let everybody know that everybody feels safe. Because back in those days, it was a little safer than it is now. And we had a very successful event. Along with that, we proceeded down to the Park Palladium on 43rd and King Drive.
Yeah, we
remember
did.
that
Yeah,
one?
oh man, come, that's where we had the dance contest.
Absolutely.
And the Disease Boys won that contest, and Tim Lynch and Shamin Abner, they tied for first place in that contest at the Park Palladium. Keep going, I'm sorry.
So at least you know, wherever we went, we drew a crowd, and other dance groups followed us or piggybacked with us. But wherever we went, nice dancing, nice music. And I think most of the time, is that when Kirk was DJing for us?
Kirk was our main DJ for the longest, and then we switched to Wayne and the Chosen Few.
Right.
Because Kirk he had Mendel locked down. He had the bi-levels.
Right.
That was his thing. And Wayne was emerging at the time. And he and I were grammar school friends, like everybody was friends.
Right.
And I was like, man, let's start using, because they doing something new with this music.
Correct.
They coming up with this new style of music, and they bringing it. And you made me think of somebody else, one of your classmates. You know, your classmate, he helped us out a great deal, Craig Thompson.
Oh, Craig is my guy. What a guy to know as a good friend. You're absolutely right.
He helped us get St. Albans.
Okay.
He helped us get Robert's 500 Room.
Okay.
He helped us get the Park Palladium too. And he helped me give my party, he helped me get the Warehouse with Robert and Zig.
Right.
He's the one that told me to go do that.
Okay.
And so Craig, your classmate, I look up to Craig, I'll tell him any second. Every time I see him, man, you helped us out. You were a great friend.
Right.
He charged us for everything, but that's another story.
Okay.
You know,
right.
That's how Craig. Come on. There you go. You know. So Craig Thompson, and like you said, the class of '77. You guys were the same class. We were majority class of '78. Steve, class of '79.
Right.
So them 3 years produced all from the same school, Mendel Catholic.
Correct.
The guy that's helping us shoot this, Tony Smith, he was a promoter, but he kind of skipped our way we did things, and he was more like a Craig Thompson kind of a promoter.
Okay.
You know, an individual,
right,
giving social parts. So Mendel as a whole is what I'm trying to say, man, just had his fingerprint all over a bunch of stuff.
That is true.
Had his fingerprint on everything. So and today, 2019, after living your life, doing the things you did, seeing the things you saw, as a Dr. DooLittle, as a galaxy of stars, one of the stars of the galaxy of
I
stars.
can understand that.
And you're no longer a mosquito. But Skeeter, what would you like to say to people, man? What would you want to? Is there anything you like to say that you want people to know, or you want to let them know how you feel, or?
I tell you what, it's very good to know that I was a part of something that was real positive, that came up from the beginning, and seems like it's never going to end. And I'd like to say thank you for keeping the doctor's name going around. If we were any younger, I'd say we put on the show again.
Hey man, hey, we can no look. I might still have a couple of moves. I don't know. No, I ain't gonna do that to you, man. I ain't gonna do that to you.
But it's also good to know that that is a name that is remembered, along with the Mendel bi-levels, that everybody could recognize that we were, might not have been a trademark, but we put a mark on Mendel to let us know who the doctors are.
Man, that's lovely, man. Well, look, I mean, is that in closing? Is that? Oh, wait, before we go closing. Pluggers. I gotta talk about our pluggers, man, because that was a big part of our.
Oh, the pluggers that Jamie used to draw, and he would make a little fictitious person on the plugger that represented each one of us in our logo. Those pluggers are very popular. As a matter of fact, somebody sent me one 6 months ago that he was cleaning his office and sent it to me. And I'm gonna send it to you so you can have it, just in case you're missing it.
We can put it in a documentary. We can include it with the because we're gonna have to have images too.
Right, so you can show. Because it also had a price of $2.50 to get in. And you know there's no club today that you can get in for $2.50. So I don't know if that means we getting younger or we getting younger, but I won't say.
Well, we need to bring that $2.50 back.
Not a problem.
We need to bring that back, man, okay? I'm on a budget, man, okay?
I can understand.
All right. My brother, Dr. DooLittle, man. Hey, I love seeing you, man. We're going to sign out, okay? And then take care. We love y'all.
Much love to the class of '77. Dr. DooLittle signing out.